let us go to the next major step in drawing inference in syllogism, namely mediate inference. When we began, you may remember that there are two methods of drawing inference. One is called immediate and the other is called mediate. Immediate is drawing inference from a single statement. Mediate is drawing inference from more than two statements. Now let us see an example of mediate inference. All cuckoos are birds and all birds have feathers. You combine these two statements, you can come to the conclusion all cuckoos have feathers. This is called mediate inference. There are 4 steps to be followed in arriving at mediate inference from two statements. Step 1, ensure one common term. There must be one common term. Number 2, align the statements. We will see what is aligning. Number 3, draw the inference using the given table. The table is given called table 6. We have to draw the inference from that. Number 4, check for complementary pair. What is complementary pair? We will see at the appropriate place. Therefore, to arrive at mediate inference, you have to follow 4 steps. The first step is, please ensure that there is one common term. The second is, align the given statement. Third is, draw the inference using the given table. The fourth one is, check for complementary pair. Let us see step 1. In the given logical statements, there must be one common term. If there is no common term, no conclusion can be drawn. Let us see the working. Suppose statement 1 says, all Russians are sportsmen. And statement 2 says, some Americans are doctors. There is no connecting link between these two statements. Here it is Russians and sportsmen. Here it is Americans and doctors. There is no connecting link between these two statements. In the absence of a common term between these two statements, we cannot draw any conclusion. Therefore, the first basic principle is that if you want to draw any conclusion from given two statements, there must be one common term. For example, we can here say, some Americans are doctors, all doctors are saviors. They save our life. Now there is a common term doctor here, there is a common term doctor here. This is I type statement, this is A type statement. Now from these two we will be able to draw some conclusion. Therefore the first step in drawing inference on mediate inference is that there must be one common term between the two statements. The second step is the given statement must be aligned. Aligned means the predicate of statement 1 should be the subject of statement 2. There must be one common term, and then number 2, second condition is it must be aligned. For example, all students are boys and all boys are athletes. Now let us see the working. Statement 1 says, all students are boys. and all boys are, statement 2 says, all boys are athletes. There is a common term, boys. Only when this is aligned, we can draw some kind of a conclusion. Now there are two methods by which we can draw conclusion. One is by conversion. We align the statements by two methods. One is called conversion and the other is called conversion and the other is called by reordering. We have seen the second step in drawing mediate inference is that the statement must be aligned. Aligned means the predicate of the first statement must be the subject of the second statement. Suppose in the given two statements there is a common term but it is not aligned, then you can align the two statements using two methods. One method is by conversion and the other is by reordering. Let us see both. Now aligning the statement by conversion. Let us see the working. By conversion. For example, statement 1, all boys are batsmen. Statement 2, some bowlers are batsmen. If you carefully observe, batsman is the predicate of the first statement, batsman is the predicate of the second statement. In both statements the predicate is a common term, batsman. There is a common term, batsman, but it is not aligned because in both batsman is the predicate. Therefore we have to change. All boys are batsmen and some bowlers are batsmen. Now what we can do? We can change this statement. All boys are batsmen. We know this can be converted. Some batsmen are bowlers. Now batsman, here is a batsman, here is a batsman. Now the statements are aligned. This is A type statement, this is I type statement. You can draw some conclusion. This is by aligning the statement. This method is called aligning the statement by conversion, by changing the predicate of the second sentence into the subject of the second sentence. We have to understand one more concept in aligning. In aligning the statement under method of conversion, you should follow an order of priority. If there are two statements, A type statements and I type statement, or A type statement and E type statement, which statement must be converted? This may be a question. Which is to be converted? We do not know. Therefore, there is an order. That order is called IEA. First you should convert I type statement. If it is not there, you convert E type statement. Then if it is not there, you convert A type statement. IEA is the order of priority for converting the statement. Now how to remember is, I have a very simple mnemonic, I use a very simple mnemonic device. I eat apples. If you remember I eat apples, you know the order in which the statements are to be converted. Now we shall go to the second method of aligning. We saw the first method of aligning two statements is by conversion. The second method of aligning the statement is by reordering. Let us see the working. Now, this is the second method of aligning by reordering. Statement 1. Some peacocks are reptiles. No mammal is a peacock. Is there a common term? Yes, there is a common term. Now if you look carefully, you will find peacock is the subject of the first statement and peacock is the predicate of the second statement. Therefore there is no need for conversion. To align, all we have to do is to reorder. Now if you write this statement, if you bring this above, then it will be automatically aligned. For example, we can write this as no mammal is a peacock. And some peacocks are reptiles. Here is peacock, which is the predicate of the first sentence, first statement, and here is peacock, which is the subject of the second statement, logical statement. Therefore, you can, it is properly aligned. This is E type statement. This is I type statement. You can draw some valid inference. What valid inference we can draw? We will see in the next step using table 6. Now this is a very important step and this is table 6. In table 6, all possible valid inferences that can be drawn under MEDIATE method, that is where more than two statements are involved, what kind of valid inference can be drawn? There are only 5 valid inferences. I told in the beginning there are only 11 valid inferences. You can draw thousands of conclusions and only 11 are valid. Out of that we have already seen 5 under immediate method. Now under MEDIATE inference we have got only 6 valid inferences. What are the 6 valid inferences? A plus A. If there are two statements, logical statements, A, first statement is A and second statement is A, then the valid inference you can draw is A. A plus A is equal to A plus E is equal to E plus A is equal to OR. OR means O reverse. We will see what is it. E plus I is equal to OR. Again it is O reverse. I plus A is equal to I plus E is equal to 0. This table must be in your mind. If you can keep this table in your mind, then you can draw all valid inference, only 6 valid inferences, that's all. Now how to remember these 6 valid inferences? I have brought some mnemonic devices which I use. A plus A is equal to A, all apples are apples. A plus E is equal to E, all England is England. E plus A is equal to OR, every American is odd. Wherever the word odd comes, please remember it represents OR or O reverse. What is the implication of O reverse? We shall see very shortly. Then E plus I is equal to OR. Every Indian is odd. Then every American can be odd. Every Indian can also be odd. Very easy to remember. Then I plus A is equal to I. I am Indian. I plus E is equal to O. I eat onions. Now a lot of politics is going on in onions. So you can just simply remember. There are only 6 statements. If you remember these 6 statements, you know all the mediate inferences that can be drawn. All valid mediate inferences that can be drawn. All apples are apples. All England is England. Every American is odd. Every Indian is odd. I am Indian and I eat onions. These are the 6 statements which simply you can remember by these mnemonic devices. In the case of OR, I told you, that is O reverse, which is represented by the word odd in our mnemonic device. O reverse means the subject and predicate will undergo changes. So please go through this statement carefully and look into the mnemonic devices I have given, mnemonic sentences I have given, and master that. Then based on this, we will be able to draw valid inferences, valid mediate inferences very simply. Only 6 inferences are possible. All other inferences are invalid. That is the beauty of this table method.